Earth 2020. Society is in ruins, and a virus runs rampant among the world's humble citizens. They are lost. In these dark times, three wayward nerds cross paths at the House of India and realize they are destined to be friends. And so they did. This is their story. The story of the Side Quest.
Welcome back to the Side Quest podcast, everybody. And my name's Matt.
I'm BJ.
And that's Luke.
Oh, sorry. I was signing into the voting thing.
Oh, shit. I need to do that right now. Well, first of all, unbeknownst to me, other than when BJ told us like 5 minutes ago, happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy Side Quest anniversary.
That's right. It was, how many years ago?
It's been a couple now, but the first episode was uploaded on one of my birthdays.
Didn't we, how many have we recorded before we uploaded one?
Like 3, I think.
Yeah. So we sat on a couple episodes, had Landon edit them, we paid money, and still didn't put them out until finally we're like, all right, fuck it. And then we put it out on your birthday.
Yep.
And then the rest is history. Here we are, 27 episodes later.
It's still going mildly strong.
I think we're as hard as ever.
We're so fucking hard, bro.
So hard.
Call us Kirishima because we're so fucking hard, dude.
And we well, before we get into it, we celebrated BJ's birthday. We got some fresh ink.
Got my first ink.
Yeah.
Me.
Luke got his.
We'll put some post-production photos in right here.
Right here.
Right now.
Bam.
And also now.
And
just throughout the whole episode.
Yeah.
One more. Now.
Not that. Don't show that. No,
That one, not that one.
And and then we had BJ's birthday, and we got pretty drunk.
Everybody got drunk because we all were drinking.
I was so drunk that I felt like nobody else was drunk.
Well, we all were drinking, like you were pre-gaming hard, but we all were drinking beforehand, and then once we played, what was it, King's Cup? Mm-hmm. That's when it was like, we're all fucked.
I could tell at one point there was a consensus where everybody was like, we need to stop.
Well, like literally I kept pointing out like 2 full rounds that, hey, if someone takes that card, we're done. And no one took the card, myself included. Because no one wanted to be the bitch to break the cycle. Until who was the girl who you invited? It was
Annalise.
Yeah, she just straight up was like, she moved one and went, oh no, we broke it, and we all stopped.
Yeah, it was a good night.
It was a very good night.
But my favorite part of the day on my birthday is always going to get tattoos.
Yeah, I also really love this tradition. It's a good, because I'm always down for tattoos, but sometimes it just doesn't happen,
Yeah.
Making a point where it's like, all right, you're gonna get one on like the 11th or whatever. It's like, all right, cool. I can plan ahead. You have the whole year to get your tattoo situated, get whatever you want to do, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's gonna happen. It's this day. It's part of the BJ's gift, so we go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to the guy that did me and Matt's tattoos. His name is Cody. We'll take a picture with his card and put it up with the others.
And Mike, who did Carmen's and Luke's tattoo, was also.
Carmen's was done in like 30 minutes. Mine took like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was funny because like you had said you would come by and say, oh, the line work's already done. He'll be out pretty soon. And then it was like, I saw you guys coming back a couple times, and it's like,
I'm sure the people working there were just tired of us just wandering,
just walking
around.
Back and forth.
But then I did say that they actually really like when like cool groups of people come in. They hate like groups of people are either can be like cool or like the worst experience ever. Like if it's a bunch of like a bridal party, that's like the worst day of all time.
And we're always respectful.
Yeah, but they were like, it's actually dope when that's like a lot of money for artists, and
we had a really good time talking to our artists.
Yeah,
he was a fun guy.
Well, like at first he had like like one of those. I mean, like hipster.
It's not a
hat.
fedora, but it was
It's like one of those
that
hipster
big,
hats.
Like a flat brim hat with the bandana around
with
it.
a red bandana, and I was like, "Oh no, is he gonna be?" But he was. Cool
I was like,
as.
this guy's gonna judge me for what I want to get. But then I get in there and he's got all this like horror memorabilia, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I've been wanting to get like a WWE belt for my brother, but they're like $700." And I'm like, "Fuck that." He was just a really fun guy to talk to.
Yeah, it was a good time talking to him. And then Carmen got a piercing on her ears. Like it was a whole thing that we did there. So
It was funny because because the lady who was like, telling us like, oh, so you're getting the bat, right? You're getting your origami thing. And she's like, you're getting that weird tribal dragon. I was just like, yeah, that. And when I sat in the chair, Mike's like, I heard you talking about Final Fantasy earlier, right? I was like, yeah. I was like, is this a freak? And I'm like, fuck right, it is.
Hell yeah.
that
So
must
he
have
knew.
felt really good. Like
it
really
really good.
justified. Unlike me coming up to people's doors on Halloween dressed up as an ant, and they're like, "Your tree, that's so nice."
Or me as Professor Layton, and they say, "Oh, you're President Lincoln."
No, it felt really good because immediately after, I was like, yeah, I want to get other summons. And he immediately goes, yeah, getting the Knights of the Round would probably be a whole bitch to get. And I was like, see, he knows. This guy knows what we're talking about. I was like, I like this. Fuck yeah. So yeah, big shout out to Mike. What was the name of the tattoo place?
Brightmoor Tattoo in Columbia, Tennessee.
Is that where you went last time too?
No, but
We went
I've
to
gotten
Ink
all
Smith.
my piercings there. I love Brightmoor. I
Yeah,
think
they
we're
were
going to
dope.
try to do that just forever now.
Yeah. I'm super
They
down
also have like enough artists to where
Yeah,
I feel like they can accommodate us.
ton of space. They know what they're doing. So yeah, it was a good weekend. Had a good birthday. Got a new tattoo. Got very drunk. And
What more could you ask for?
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know. Nothing
Yeah.
really.
There you go.
Good friends and good drinks and good tattoo.
You already have because I'm already feeling that tattoo fever because I literally now have a folder on my phone of tattoo ideas.
I mean, we're going back
Yeah.
the
Now
week.
the seal's broken.
We're going back the week after. On the week after we come back on like a Friday.
Just to get more.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So Carmen really likes the origami look, and she wanted to do one for Lance, and I'm gonna do one for her. So
Nice.
she has like 3 for me.
The other one I want to get, I've shown. I think I showed you about it. You know the Golbez
Yeah.
one. He's like holding that. I'm still debating because like, do I want to do?
Dude, get a
I've thought
Phoenix one. Get a Phoenix.
I'm gonna get a Phoenix
Have-
one. I think what
have Mikey just do like a complimentary style, and he'll-
that's kind of what I
and
was
then
thinking.
it
is,
go into that.
yeah, and
Just do
it'd be
that.
to be Ifrit and Phoenix. Yeah, that's what I want to do. But I also
Just do a
want to
sleeve
get.
of all the summons.
See, that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. I want to do a Final Fantasy sleeve and just basically get all the summons.
But if you did it in
get
a
some
way
of
that
the-
wasn't like a classic like video game sleeve though.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you kept with the style that one's in, that
so
would
all like tribalistic with
it
them.
looks so fucking sweet.
It would look so good.
I know for a fact I want to get I want Phoenix near there. I want to get I definitely want to get Odin somehow. I just
Yeah.
don't know how because
is that Sid's?
no, Ramu is Sid's. Odin is the Dark Knight one. So
Oh, yeah.
he's the one always riding the horse. And
I don't
he's
think
the
that'd be too hard.
Well, it's figuring out because this one is based on the logo that they're given on the like the insignias when you change icons. Odin's is just his helmet with the giant antlers, and I'm like, I don't like that one. I want like the whole Odin on the horse thing. So I'd have to definitely work with someone to get that one out. But
Well,
I kind of like the idea though of them all being based on this design.
If you have a picture of Odin's silhouette, you can do it based on that.
Phoenix, Garuda, and Bahamut are the easiest ones because Bahamut is just like doing his like giant dragon neck and then put wings coming out of it, and I'd be like, all right, cool. But yeah, getting like Shiva, and then even going outside of.
I don't
16,
think Shiva would be too hard.
Going outside of 16 though, even doing like
Which
Alexander.
one's Shiva?
She's
Ice.
the ice lady.
Oh, the one that's
Jill.
Jill.
It would just be more like curvy lines than jagged.
Yeah. I'm super hyped though, just because like I've stared at this thing in the mirror multiple times, just be like, this shit's so fucking cool.
And then
So-
you hear like a rap at the door.
Well, hey, dude, it's funny because like I came home with like a Walmart bag and it had like
Yeah.
the cream
Lotions. They're like,
lotion,
oh,
yeah.
someone's gonna have a fun night.
Well,
We're
tonight.
no.
not jerking off tonight.
my mom was like, "What's in there?" I said, "Oh, snacks," and to hide the fact that it was like for the mascot, I just went, and they're not keto friendly snacks. She goes, Luke, and I go, hey, tomorrow's cheat day, we're gonna be right. And I walk downstairs. They didn't question it. They're just like, whatever.
And then you ate all the soap.
Yeah, no, and that she's gonna wonder because I know she's gonna come to our bathroom and like switch out the towels and whatnot. She's gonna see like dial gold soap bars underneath, and then like a hand lotion for it too. And she's gonna be like, huh. But the cream is just in a drawer, which I don't know. She'll be fine with that, but I'll probably move them at some point. But I don't know. I just any chance that I don't have to ask, like if I don't have to answer any questions, because my whole thing is like I don't want to lie to them about it. Because then I think if they look me dead in the face and go, Luke, do you have tattoos? I'm probably not gonna lie to them. Because then it's gonna become worse when I do have it. Then they find out. Mm-hmm. But if I can get them to not ask me questions, then it's like, hey, don't ask, don't tell. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Because I don't want to lie about it. I'm doing a. With my parents, I don't want everyone to lie to them about any shit that I do. I just don't, if they don't ask questions, I don't have to tell, you know what I'm saying?
Get another call from Scam Likely.
Oh, sick, dude.
Well, should we get into this?
I would love to, because then we have stuff to get into after.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
So the Game Award nominees came out. You already know the fucking deal. We do this every year. We're going to go through and we're going to individually vote on the stuff that we like, and we're going to be irrational about it, and you're not going to like our answers.
Do we want to... Well, obviously, none of us give a shit about the esports stuff or...
Mine just starts with Game of the Year.
Yeah, so does mine.
Do we want to start there or have that be the final one?
Let's start there.
All right, so we just start at Game of the Year.
Kick it off.
All right, so once this bitch...
Drum roll.
So, for the Game of the Year nominations, we got 6 games. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
So if someone could tell us anything about Alan Wake 2...
I literally, before Luke came out, I was like, what's with Alan Wake 2? I was like, that game came out 2 weeks ago, and I don't know shit about it.
All I know about it is that because I've listened to like the non-spoiler review podcasts and stuff, just to be like, oh, yeah, I remember Alan Wake, I liked it. Everybody's talking, like all these like podcasts, all these like reviews are saying, yo, this shit is amazing, like every one of them, and it's getting like high review scores, it's selling really well. I was just like, I knew it was coming out, I just didn't know it came out like
the only
a week ago.
reason I learned about it was because I had to update my GPU, and like Nvidia was like, play Alan Wake 2, and I was like, what? Why did they have a stake in this?
Probably because they probably used Nvidia tech for it. It's by Remedy, so the same company did Control, and this is their second. They did. I think
Control's
they did
that Alien one.
That's the one where you're in the SCP Foundation and you're a woman.
Oh yeah,
but you have that like cool gun that can like transform and shit. I don't know.
Gotcha.
It actually is a really fun game, but I don't know. I want to play Alan Wake 2.
It's kind of horror-esque, right?
Yeah. Because the first game is this dude who's an author. He's like a writer, and it starts off with you just kind of like, oh, weird shit's happening. And you find out it's like shit that he's writing and shit that he's like doing is kind of coming to life.
Oh,
It's a really cool game. I recommend anybody play the first game, and apparently go play the second game because it's getting outrageous reviews. But
not as much as the next game.
Baldur's Gate 3 got this hands down. That's my vote. So I'll just go ahead and tell you that right fucking now.
I'm voting differently because I know it's going to win, and I'm fine with that. I know Baldur's Gate 3 deserves it.
You going Tears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Tears of the Kingdom.
So hold on. So then, third is Marvel Spider-Man 2.
There's one more Spider-Man in this one, guys.
That's what the 2's for.
I wanna give a big shout out though to Resident Evil.
Yeah, RE4
This
is
is
the next
the
one.
second remake. Not even 8 or
and
7.
it's the second Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, like no, because like Resident Evil 2 got nominated, and now Resident Evil 4 got nominated. 8 didn't get nominated, and I do not think 7 did either.
Which is really weird.
But the two.
I mean, I think
the
8's
two
better
games,
than 7.
I agree.
8 is 100% better than 7.
It didn't get a nominee.
That's what I'm saying. Is the only nominees that they've gotten in recent years have been the 2 remakes of 2 and 4. Ironically, both
I feel
the
like though
Uncanny
that
games.
most of that is just like these older crowd that are just like super reminiscent about the old ones that are like remake and then playing that and just hyping it up.
I agree.
I would disagree in the sense that I think out of all the ones like Dead Space remake or even Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake feels just different enough. Like it's the same story and the same characters, but it's just different enough in terms of tone, character writing, and things like that. That it's like it's the same game, but it feels different. Like it's just different enough that I kind of am cool with it being nominated. And if
but I think RE8 is better than RE2 remake.
They're on par for me. I enjoyed 2 more than I enjoyed 8. But
Once you stop being scared of 2, it becomes really monotonous, though.
yeah, okay, that's fair. Because
It felt like when I'd watch walkthroughs and stuff like that, it just was like so much of the same shit.
Yeah.
When
then considering that game you kind of have to play multiple times to get like the A and B plot with Leon and Claire.
Yeah,
So,
that's very true.
all right,
Next up, Mario Wonder.
This one also shocked me that this was here.
shocked me too. Was
Wonder
that
why
last
it's on
night?
here.
Yeah, you were like, why is Mario Wonder on there? The fuck?
And then you were like,
It's
I was like, it's one of the most innovative 2D platformers to come out in the last like 10 years.
you're like, I'm sorry, it's a platformer, Matt.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, it's not your cup of tea.
Well, like even me personally, like I've played a little bit of it and I haven't beaten it, but I'm like, I personally
Well,
wouldn't.
you haven't beaten the next game on this list either.
I did.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like I literally was
That's
like
true.
came in and said, yeah, I
Sorry.
beat it last night.
I'm sorry.
It took me a minute.
I just had a conversation with Kevin over lunch about all the other.
Kevin and Carmen still haven't beaten
beaten
Tears
it,
of the
so
Kingdom,
that's
by
why
the
it's
way.
on my
No, yeah, I was gonna say I have.
So leave
beat
hate
it.
comments for Kevin and Carmen.
No, I honestly between the 2 games that I would want to win would be Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate.
I think I'm voting Baldur's Gate. So this is how I feel. Is Tears of the Kingdom was so good, but it was a continuation of the story. It didn't feel like a completely new thing, but it was really good. But Baldur's Gate like fucked with me in a good way. Like I still haven't finished it, and it's a little hard to digest, and that's I think on me, not the game.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate is a game. This is to me the point of this game.
It blows my mind.
It should not have gotten as popular as it did. It is a CRPG. It plays heavily turn-based. It is D&D rule sets. It is a game that normally would not have blown up the way that it did.
I've seen people that I never would have expected to even be remotely interested in D&D playing the fuck out of Baldur's Gate, and that's something huge.
And your sister loves Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, and my sister plays indie horror games that cost $2 on Steam only. So to see her playing Baldur's Gate is insanity.
The fact too is like the team who did this, their last game was Divinity 2, and that game didn't sell like nearly as much, didn't have that big of a splash. And it's like, oh, here comes Baldur's Gate 3. And I honestly think that like they amassed their like a major part of their fan base with that early access bit of like, all right, you can play the game now and we'll work with you guys. It was in early access for like a year, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and then it finally was like it's coming out then. It probably helped that it was technically a PlayStation exclusive as well, so it came out on PC, blew up, and then now console players, at least PlayStation players, which has the most consoles out there, most of them got to jump in immediately.
It just goes to show that the best indicator of a good game these days is if Ubisoft tweets about it, saying how bad it is so that people don't realize how shitty their games are.
That was wild to me when that came out. When like that indie developer was like, this is not good for the community, and it's gonna like
It's like shut the fuck up and get back to making Among Us maps.
I think realistically what the guy was saying, because I was watching a podcast on that specifically, and they didn't have him on, but it was a bunch of other game developers, and they're like, no, Baldur's Gate's great for the industry. It's probably not great for people in suits. Because now, and then it's probably not good for the developers under those people, because now it's going to be heavy crunch time to make it. Because you know Ubisoft or someone's going to go do that, but make that in a year, like type shit. So I guarantee you, it's probably
we're gonna get Gods Among Us 2, and it's gonna be Baldur's Gate, but really bad.
Yeah, like I truly like honestly, I feel bad for any devs who are under like Ubisoft's thumb or under like EA, who are now like, oh, that Baldur's Gate thing, how can we milk this for all the money it's worth, and can we put it out in a year?
I also just realized I meant to say Immortals Phoenix Rising.
I mean, it was called Gods and Monsters the first time, so yeah,
that's true. But
dude, that game shockingly sold exceptionally well, and I'm kind of, which to be fair,
I bought it.
It came out during the pandemic, so
that's
that
true.
And Valhalla.
People were just buying anything those days.
Well, not Watch Dogs Legion. That game sold like shit, despite it being.
I bought that game, and boy, oh boy, do I regret it.
That Valhalla and Immortals Phoenix Rising, and then Rainbow Six Siege are what pretty much saved Ubisoft during the pandemic.
But being the token Nintendo cook, I just have to say, Super Mario Brothers Wonder being on here makes me really happy.
I'm cool. I'm glad seeing it Because to me, that's a good indicator that like, all right, cool.
What was Odyssey competing with when it came out for Game of the Year?
Breath of the Wild.
Oh fuck. That's
else was
really ironic.
Who the fuck else was that year?
Horizon was on there.
Yeah, like, and Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
No, wait, no, because Spider-Man was 2018, so that lost to God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 2017 was Breath of the Wild, 2018 was God of War. So, yeah, what the fuck else came out in 2017? I know, yeah, you're right, Horizon. And then, obviously, Odyssey.
Wasn't it Jedi Fallen Order?
Maybe. Well, we can look at some of the other nominees if we want to, if we have time. But
And then the last thing that I want to say, the reason I'm voting for Zelda is because it made me feel like no Zelda game ever has before. Like, the writing and the story and the culmination of the ending.
Best ending of a Zelda game.
Hands fucking down.
I don't think anything will beat that.
And the memory of sitting there that night playing through it with you.
That's what I was telling Kevin about. I was like, I might have gotten into that like groove of like, I might not finish it. And then BJ was like, hey man, I'm gonna finish this tonight. And I was like, give me 30 minutes. Let me finish this last.
We upgrade my armor and then we'll do it together.
Yeah, and that was a great experience. It was so much fun. Because then we like both beat it. Like I beat him, and then
we'd watch the cutscene on Matt's
on the big TV. Yeah, and then it was wonderful.
It's incredible. So that's why it's getting my vote
for sure. It's a hard, especially it feels like I don't. To me, it's hard to vote for a game that I haven't beat, but at least I've played it because it wasn't like.
I don't think you need to necessarily beat all these games to put in a vote. As long as you understand what it is, you've played enough of it, and you kind of get the vibe.
Yeah.
I think that counts as a vote. And like even like here's the thing, I guarantee most people who voted and reviewed Baldur's Gate 3 and said it was a great game didn't make it past Act 1. They were still trudging around in Act 1 for hundreds of hours, and then finally were like, oh shit, there's more to this game. Guarantee.
I'm also surprised about the amount of people that finished a game that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because oh man, we're gonna have a ball talking about that.
All right, next category.
Best game direction.
Which means runner-up game of the year.
All right, BJ, you go.
I want to read this real quick, just to be awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovative in game direction and design. So basically, like, game of the year is everything: music, voice acting, like This one is specifically like the feel of a game, like did they commit to their vision, like this kind of stuff like that.
We should also do the thing that we did last year where we each go through and announce.
Yeah.
Okay, so BJ, your turn.
Sorry.
All right, so the nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Mario Brothers Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom.
Low key, I want to give it to Mario Wonder.
I was gonna say Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm gonna give it to Mario Wonder just because I know a little bit more about the development on this one. This is the first Mario game in a long time to not have a production deadline put on it. They spent time actually talking to the devs, asking them for ideas, and compiling them in the best way possible, and they got an incredible product out of it. So I think that's going to be what it is for me.
I from everything I've heard of Alan Wake 2, if I would have played Alan Wake 2, I can see myself giving it to Alan Wake 2, because Alan Wake 2 is exactly what I think this thing needs, but I haven't played it, so I do not feel comfortable giving it the vote. But Mario Wonder, I have played, and while I haven't beaten it, I can tell they were like, this is the vibe we want. We're going to go all in on this crazy, psychedelic, fucking weird 2D platformer that's going to change, like, it, and like, this is the game that we've been wanting as Mario fans. Like, I think the game's great. I don't know if I would put it Game of the Year conversation, but the fact that we've been getting new Super Mario Bros. Games since the Wii.
This game came out and made me realize how much I hate those fucking games.
Because they're the most safe cookie cutter.
Is that the one where like you're in the bubble when you die? And
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the most safe cookie cutter like 2D platformers. Like, it was cool seeing it on the DS again, and like that was like back in 2006.
Yeah, because that was the first 2D Mario game since the Game Boy.
Yeah, and so like seeing that was cool, but then it when you put out a new game of that on every one of your systems following up, and each of them are just that again.
Yeah, and then they release a game that they got. Making those games got so repetitive and boring that they were able to make a game builder out of that game twice.
Yeah,
and just call it "You fucking make it then."
Yeah, and you definitely are not going to see Mario Wonder and Mario Maker. Like, there's too much creativity in there. So,
All right.
And the amount of playable characters is pretty crazy for a 2D game.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, my phone is very
Oh yeah,
slow.
what did you say you were voting on for that one?
I said Tears of the Kingdom, but then I was thinking because it's direction.
I
would have. I would have.
direction for the other one. Too.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it had this. It was the same direction as Breath of the Wild. It's got a good for me like in the writing. Like it's got really good story and stuff like that. But then I'm thinking like the only other one that I played and I've loved is Baldur's Gate. So I think I'm voting Baldur's Gate. On that one.
I will say this about the game direction, and this is a small gripe with Tears of the Kingdom. The style of Breath of the Wild of finding your memories works out of order. Tears of the Kingdom story very
Absolutely
clearly wants you to go in order, but then they're out of order in how you're going. It's very weird, and I don't like that.
That's the
part.
biggest gripe I have with that game.
I think if they would have put the memories just in certain spots, like, okay, this is clearly the next spot you have
I
to
think
go
the
to.
best way to do it is no matter what
Memory
hieroglyph you
yeah.
go to, it's the next one is just queued up for you.
That
That would
be-
fix it completely.
And that I feel like is just like a coding thing.
Yeah.
Just play X. Like if it's the third hieroglyph, play the third memory.
They could absolutely fix it.
I understand though that their idea was it has to be Breath of the Wild but bigger.
I mean,
it
even
just
then,
is that
if they
it's,
just
it's
had the
classic open
hieroglyphs,
world. Like this is what you find, and so this is what you get.
I mean, if they had just had the hieroglyphs unlock sequentially and they just pop up on your map,
Oh, like the hieroglyph, like you visit one,
you get the
you
previous
visit
memory.
one, and then it reveals itself like it glows in the land, and you only see the land that it's around, and you're like, I wonder where that is.
Yeah.
And then you have to go find it. Yeah, that'd be great. All right, next category: best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16. And Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Can we talk about this is the second time that CD Projekt Red's DLC has gotten nominated for
I'm just
awards.
gonna say
Blood and
I'm gonna
Wine?
vote for Cyberpunk. I know you guys are gonna vote Final Fantasy.
I mean, if Final Fantasy wasn't
What?
here, I'd vote for Cyberpunk.
Have you played Phantom Liberty though?
yeah,
Oh, you beat Phantom. You got in Phantom.
not beat it, but I'm
Okay,
just
you're in it. Oh no,
No.
you're not even in Phantom Liberty. So
No,
why are you
but-
voting Phantom Liberty?
because I love CD Projekt Red, and I just want to give them all the hype that there is.
I guess
They're
fair.
like I love their studio. I'm sad about the beginning of it, but
But they're fucking killing it.
they're
with the
killing
Phantom
it. I
Liberty
love
shit.
I love their culture. They didn't fuck up the launch. It was the suits that did. I love their culture. They're like, we're sorry, we're gonna like fix this as best as we can.
They could have
and instead of
abandoned Cyberpunk.
abandoning it,
Yeah.
They fucking did it.
It was like finding a crack baby on the street, and instead of it raising to become a crack man, it turned into just a hero.
That baby went to therapy,
Dude.
and became a well-functioned member of
Not
society.
just that, just a hero.
Yeah.
Like fucking
The crack baby
All
turned
Might,
into Superman.
man.
Yeah,
Just, it's such a good redemption.
It's literally Hawks.
Dude, it's such a good. It is Hawks. It's such a good redemption story, and I'm about it. So,
that's fair. I'll give you that.
but I know how. I mean, your tattoo. I
Final
know how.
Fantasy 16 goes so fucking hard. It's got the best writing of any Final Fantasy, I'll say, since 7.
dude.
Even though you now realize it's just Game.
It's just Game of Thrones, and I don't give a fuck.
Bro, no, this has been the funniest thing. You playing 16 first, and then,
then-
No,
watch
we've
it.
been watching Game of Thrones, and we're in season 6, and I'm still going Final Fantasy.
This is, he turns and goes. This is just Final Fantasy.
bro, literally, like you cannot tell me that the people watched Game of Thrones and went, Jon Snow's my favorite character. I like him and his wolf. That's our protagonist for this game.
100%.
No, dude.
Oh, didn't I tell you that our the
Oh
video?
yeah, the video
Yeah.
of me reacting to Jon Snow's death. Spoiler alert! Got a fuckload of views on YouTube.
a bunch.
Hell yeah.
And then there are comments like, "I'm still in season 2."
Yeah, somebody was like, "No, I'm still in season 2."
I love though that you didn't know, like
That was completely out of left field for me.
I still bro, I love that you didn't know, and there's still some things you don't know.
Yeah,
I'm beyond.
we're getting
hyped.
into it with Bran.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, we could probably watch tonight or some other shit, but we took a little break. What did we watch?
We
A
watched,
bunch of erotica movies that were like borderline.
yeah,
shit.
we watched a bunch of Dallas Connection esque things, and then we also watched Spider-Verse in that time between.
Yeah, but then there was another night that we just all watched something that you're like, oh, let's not watch Game of Thrones. Like,
I can't remember what exactly. We spent a lot of time on YouTube that night.
who knows?
I don't know.
All right.
Anyway, Final Fantasy 16 for me and Luke.
For sure. But I'm just gonna support my boys over at CD Projekt Red.
Like I said, if it wasn't on there, I'd be on that same train.
All right, Luke, you got this next one.
Best art direction for outstanding creative or technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
I got best score in music. Let me go back.
Yeah, it'll like kind of load some, but yeah, I got here. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, best art directions after best narrative. So.
Oh, this one's tough.
All right, so we've got Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Mario Bros. Wonder, and Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Hi-Fi Rush, no questions
I was
asked.
gonna say Hi-Fi Rush.
That game was fucking amazing in terms of its art style.
I'm going Liza P.
Dude, see, that's the thing. If Hi-Fi Rush wasn't there, Liza P would have got it because that game blew me
Was
the
that
fuck
the
away.
same studio that did the roller skating game?
No, the studio who did Hi-Fi Rush is the same guys who did Evil Within.
Whoa,
Which is an insane pivot.
that is insane.
Yeah,
I
they-
thought
they
it was
went-
the
they
people
went-
that
no.
did Roller Dome.
They went Evil Within 1 and 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, and then Hi-Fi Rush. And we don't know what the fuck their next game is after that.
I hope
But
it's fucking Ghostwire 2. That shit was immaculate.
honestly, dude, Hi-Fi Rush 2 as well. Like, I'd be super down with this, like...
But didn't you also feel like at the end you had a couple gripes with Ghostwire Tokyo?
I had gripes with how it ended, but up until then, it was a fucking blast.
Okay.
But Liza P, you all know me. You see my face and my black dyed hair. Obviously, I'm voting for that shit. I've been waiting for Bloodborne 2 forever, and this is as close as I'm gonna get.
Yeah. You honestly, if you get a chance, play it. It is pretty solid of a Souls.
I'm gonna get it on Steam when I have some extra cheddar.
If you want to try it out, it is on, like, just to do like the first bit. It's on Game Pass, so you can just.
Dude,
play it
how
on this.
I do not. I'm just gonna say. We've said it before. How is Alan Wake 2 in every single one of these?
Every single category.
I
so
don't
far.
under fucking stand
I'm
it.
gonna be honest. I guarantee you, it's recency bias because a lot of these awards are like the nomination stuff are done by a committee, which is a bunch of the games media, YouTuber groups, and stuff like that. I guarantee you, they're all off the high of playing Alan Wake 2, and it probably hit them hard
It's
enough
bullshit.
that they're like, all right, let's nominate it at least. Which, hey, I've heard good things. So, like, I don't know if it deserves all these awards, but I definitely think it deserves some nominations based on what I've heard.
All right, BJ, would you?
Next up, we got best score and music.
I'm just
for
gonna go ahead and vote.
outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack.
I'm just going ahead and voting for that one.
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. So just for everybody that doesn't know, Masayoshi Soken composed Final Fantasy 16 while he was getting cancer treatments.
So no. He composed Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers while he was in the hospital doing cancer treatments, and that entire soundtrack was basically him being like, "This could be the last thing I do." This is literally like he was like, "This is my magnum opus. This is what y'all are going to remember me as," and he did it. And then he
And then he got better.
got better because it was like,
and
hey,
then
it's
he
cancer
was like, I'm fucking back. You're never going to forget me.
and then immediately they're like, "Hey, so here's
Give us the raw shit ever made.
Well, my favorite thing too is they told him like, we want like classical music. It's got to be like the most thing. And he said, all right, cool. But then there's a couple tracks where he said, nah, fuck that. I'm doing my thing. And it's when you fight Typhon, it's like this electronic like EDM shit, and then you fight Titan, and it's just the rawest Devil May Cry-esque rock music ever. And he's like, and he just sent it. He apparently just sent it to the team and said, "This is what you got."
I'll not be accepting notes.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm not accepting any other critiques. This is it."
But on the other hand, Zelda really stepped it up.
I'm voting Zelda. That music moved me.
Yeah, it
That-
gave me chills at multiple points.
Oh, it absolutely. I mean, I played like I'd say like 6 hours with BJ of Final Fantasy. I mean, I played more. That's the most amount of Final Fantasy I've ever played, and it was dope. And we got, I got to see the all the Freet and Phoenix fights, and then what's the one with the wind goddess Garuda and all that shit. But
the moment that got me in 16, and one of the reasons why I will I'm always gonna put this soundtrack. I bought this soundtrack. Like I'll usually just go whatever Spotify. I bought this one just 'cause I'm like I have to have it. Find the Flame, when you're fighting the shadow of Clive, when he accepts that power, and it's just like this raw orchestra, whatever, and then the two Ifrits fight was one of those moments where I'm like, this is like that game.
Dude, the romance theme with Clive and Jill.
Yeah, bro, it continues on to where that is.
If I was to get married, that shit would definitely be in there.
It is, dude. Every one of those tracks, even when he gets weird with it, Ascension, which you didn't get to because you didn't fight Bahamut. That song is fucking amazing. Like every single Icon fight song is stellar. A lot of the just regular soundtrack. Sid's theme, like the Outlaw theme, every time he shows up, it plays amazing. I do agree with you. This is probably the best Zelda soundtrack, like hands down, we've gotten.
I mean, yeah. There's so many times I got chills and it just moved. I mean, the final.
It's insane how they can make you feel just adding a saxophone.
Yeah. And I do like this, like new, like that, like Chinese, like violin, guitar thing,
Sombersome violin.
Yeah. So that's my vote on that. All right, next category is it's loading. Best audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4.
I'm going Hi-Fi Rush.
I was going Dead Space.
So, I always stand on Resident Evil for sound design, so that's not going to stop today.
I'm going to hit Hi-Fi because specifically that game's whole point is everything has to be done to the beat of the song playing, which includes every hit of the guitar, every dodge roll, and the sounds. None of them feel like, oh, this is out of place, because like again, everything is to the music. So any sound effect, any like footstep, everything is to the beat of the song. So it never. I mean,
I'm voting
weird.
Dead Space because Dead Space the pillar it stands on and has always stood on is the sound design. That's the scariest part of Dead Space.
Yeah.
I mean that's what. Yeah. So I'm
next category slaps.
Next category is actually kind of hard. Like I know who I'm voting for, but I'm like, damn, this could go, with the exception of one, just because I haven't played it. This could go in either way.
Oh, this is a really good. All right.
Best performance awarded to an individual for voiceover, acting, motion, and/or performance capture. We've got Ben Starr of Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077, Melanie Liebert from Alan Wake 2, Neil Newbin? Yeah, Neil Newbin from Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal from Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I'm not voting for him, but I'll give him a shout out. Yuri Lowenthal as that version of Peter Parker nailed.
I mean, you guys love Yuri.
The voice for Yuri has always fit Spider-Man, in my opinion.
And I've seen some TikToks and shit. He nails the Venom Peter, like anger and just kind of that like letting the emotions go. I'm like, damn, it makes me want to play Spider-Man 2 a lot more. But I'm like, I just want to give a shout out because I did think he did amazing in the first game, and in this game too. Yeah, because I agree with you. His voice fits Peter.
Absolutely.
Really
I'd also like to shout out, because we all know that you guys are voting Ben Starr.
Absolutely.
Of course.
But I'd like to shout out Cameron Monaghan.
He really was the Jedi survivor we made along the way.
Yes. Honestly, the biggest turnoff of that game was how many times they said the words Jedi survivor.
Absolutely.
They said it like 6 times, and by the 3rd time, I was like, I'm done.
All of his combat emoting is solid as fuck, though.
Yeah.
Like, every time he gets hit or he dies, and it's like, ow! I think somebody, like, fucking slammed a dresser into his shins.
But my vote is going to be Neil Newbon. He has, just seeing everything of him outside of the game, he is just such a lovable guy that is just, I love him so much.
Big shout, he voiced Heisenberg in Resident Evil Village too, so he has some range.
Idris Elba, you did okay. But
now if it was Songbird,
that's exactly what I was about to say. If it was Songbird, absolutely 100% she wins. If it was Johnny Silverhand, he would win. But
just to get Keanu Reeves on stage, I would vote him. Just bring him on stage so he says something awesome.
Yeah, just let him on stage to accept the award. I don't care if he did a shit job or not. I want to see Keanu.
Yeah, I just want to see him on stage.
But the problem with Reed is he stays in the same emotional range for the whole DLC. And Ben Starr fucking made me feel things.
Bro, in the fucking demo, that bit after the Phoenix dies, and he's just yelling, like, I'll kill you.
You killed my brother.
Yeah, like, I remember, like, when I finished the demo for the first time, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I also think Neil has this one in the bag. The fact, like, there's all these TikToks of people just simping over him, and
I think
and
he's
it's
probably...
that same. How I feel about Keanu Reeves. Everyone just wants to see Neil on stage.
I think realistically it's between him and Ben.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping Ben pulls. Ben won Best Actor at the Golden Joysticks, and
that.
Neil got Best Supporting Actor. So this will be that kind of like, all right, who's the better of the two? I hope it's Ben, just because again, him as Clive. I do want to give the shout out to Neil though, because Astarion is arguably one of the best characters in Baldur's Gate 3. If every time you talk to him, whether it's some snarky bullshit, some emotional bullshit, like he's stellar at that. So,
all right, next one, which I am not well informed in, and has a really long thing, is innovation and accessibility. Recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by a even wider audience. Diablo 4.
Please tell me you almost went Diablo Iv.
Forza Motorsports, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6.
I would love to point out that 2 of these nominations are from the least accessible genre of video games ever to exist, fighting games.
I will say, though, based on what I know, Street Fighter 6 has that, like, story mode bit, but it also has, I think it's called, like,
what do you don't think you could get, like, accessibility with just the buttons?
Well, Street Fighter 6 has that simple control scheme.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It lets you do more intricate combos with less button prompts.
But that's not what fighting games are about.
I'm not saying it's not what it's about.
I want to
but
see
it's
two
accessible.
people get angry at each other at a convention and break a controller, not fucking press A to do a fucking Shoryuken Hadouken combo.
I have no clue.
I have no horse in this race, honestly. Yeah, I'll vote. Hi-Fi Rush is pretty good in that you never like. Even though, like you can apparently change the timing window of the press of the button. So like if you are someone who has motor function skills, even if you're not completely on the beat, they'll let you kind of, there's that. It has a bunch of color blindness moves.
I know Forza has a lot of.
Forza has a shit ton.
Forza's the only one that I've actually heard anything about accessibility on, so I'm gonna vote that.
Yeah. All right.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, mine's not loading, but.
All right, mine says games.
The one that we never know anything about.
Yeah, games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. A Space for the Unbound. Chance of Sinar. Goodbye Volcano High. Chia. Terra Nil and Venba. I have not played a single one of these games, so I don't.
What I'm gonna do, like I did last year, is I'm gonna do the one with the animal.
Everybody's gonna hate me for this, and I'm sorry for saying it, but we're all thinking it. This is just games with brown people in it. Sorry. It always is.
Hey, there's a Goodbye Volcano is furries.
I don't want them to be impactful. We don't need furry impact.
Terra Nil for the animals.
Yeah,
I did last year was the one with the fox.
Yeah, I did that one too. All right, everybody, vote for the animals, but not the humanoid animals. Ooh, best ongoing.
Yep.
Nominees: Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
I know what I'm doing.
Cyberpunk all
baby.
the way. 2.0 update, 100% deserves that shit. What do you think, Luke?
Well, the same. I think the fact that it's weird giving us just a regular single player game best ongoing, but the idea that like they were very vocal about each update, like this is what it's fixing, this is what it's doing, here's 2.0,
and they stuck with it really fucking hard.
So I do want to give it to them. So I'm with you on that one.
Also, fuck Genshin Impact.
Sorry, Joey.
Best community support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches.
This one's a sweep.
Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy, was that 14, and No Man's Sky.
I'm saying Baldur's Gate.
I'm saying Baldur's Gate 2.
They
are so quick and responsive and communicative with their updates.
It's crazy.
It also helps, again, that entire early access era where, like, yeah, you could buy the game, you can play the game. We're going to let you, like, you can pretty much, they would talk to their community.
Even on my PC, they have, like, you can run it on either two different, like the DirectX, Direct 10. Like, it's such a, yeah. There's so much little things about that game that they care about helping it run well.
Who's next?
It's Lucas.
All right.
Wait, no. You just did it.
Did I just do it, or did you just do it? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember. You do it, man.
Can I do this one because I have something I have to say about one of these?
Go for it.
So next is best independent game for outstanding, and I need to read this. For outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. By that logic, Dave the Diver is not supposed to be on here because it's from a publisher. It is not an indie game by that standard. It has an indie budget. It has a good team. It has a small team of people, but it has a publisher tied to it. It is not an indie game. Even though I would have voted for it, it's not an indie game. But yeah, sorry.
I wouldn't have.
It was Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder. Dave the Diver is really fun. I did enjoy that game. But it's not an indie game.
But it's also not Sea of Stars.
I was going to say, Sea of Stars is my vote. But based on that critique...
What's Sea of Stars?
It's basically Chrono Trigger 2.
Okay.
And it's fucking amazing. So I'm voting Sea of Stars, but I just wanted to put that out there. Dave the Diver, great game.
I've seen a lot of stuff about Dredge. And
I haven't heard anything about it, but it looks interesting.
I've seen a couple TikToks about it.
It's the one where it's like it has slight horror vibes at night, where like you'll go out into sea and then you'll like it's like people didn't expect. They're like, oh, it's like just one of these like farming simulators, but you're just like a boat collecting, like getting fish. But if you go out at night, like it gets crazy scary, like for unnecessarily expected.
I'll have to check that out because I love my scary water games.
All right, so I guess we go back to you, BJ.
Yeah,
since I hijacked it.
Best debut indie game: Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Vinva, and Viewfinder. I'm not gonna lie, I'm going Pizza Tower.
I'm going Pizza
only because of Donkey's video.
No, because it's fucking awesome.
Well, that's the only thing I've seen of it.
I've seen Oni Plays play it, and just the intro alone is so fucking awesome. And then it's like a 2D platformer kind of roguelike.
It's like you remember how the platforming.
I mean, I've seen it after I watched Donkey's video. I was like, this can't be a real game that just came out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, it is.
It's like a mix between Wario and the platforming of Guacamelee to me.
It's really interesting. So I want to give it to them just because it is a very creative indie jump.
And it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Damn, I got a terrible one. Best mobile game. For the best game playable on a mobile device. Final Fantasy 7, yes. Ever Crisis. Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Which, shout out to Hello Kitty Island Adventure. South Park created that meme like 15 years ago, and then they made it a real thing and then crossed over with South Park.
Honkai, Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terranil.
How about Monster Hunter later?
I'm voting Ever Crisis.
Monster Hunter not right now.
Monster Hunter maybe later.
I'm voting Ever Crisis, but let's be real. This is gonna go to Honkai.
Yeah, Honkai is gonna win it. I wish Nier was on here again. I still think that is the best ongoing mobile game. But out of these, the one that I've stuck with is Ever Crisis. So
there you go.
I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Luke?
Best VR/AR. Y'all know what this is. It's VR shit.
You already know what it is.
Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village, and Synapse. Village, dog.
Village.
Absolutely.
Look, the other games.
My first entry into the Resident Evil was RE4 VR, and it is a really good game.
And the Village VR is the whole fucking game. So none of these other games even hold a candle to the content in that. The closest thing running up to it is going to be Horizon, but even then, that's like
I've heard really solid though. So for a game that is built for VR, it probably would go to Horizon. I could see it winning it just because of that. But I'm gonna be honest, dude. Yeah, Village VR is so fucking.
I agree, and the thing is with it, like, to play Horizon VR, I need a PS5 and a fucking
VR
PS5 headset, which is like
Technically,
$1,000.
wouldn't Resident Evil Village also be a mobile game? Because you can now, with the new iPhone, play Village.
I think it's games designed for
Okay.
mobile. That's the kicker. Yeah. No, I agree with you though, because it's
bet-
technically Death Stranding is gonna be a mobile game if that's the case.
Yeah,
So,
I bet that's why he fucking did it too. He just doesn't want to make a new game. He just wants Death Stranding to keep getting handed trophies until he dies.
Death Stranding 2 is apparently coming out next year, so
I can't wait for the 12-hour movie.
according to leaks, there's been one leak, and it's this one's supposed to be more action oriented because the whole point of the first game was connect the world, and now the point of the second one is like
Save the world.
fuck it up.
Man, this next category is the biggest sweep of all time for me.
Oh, here's the thing: if there was another game in here,
Yeah, like where the fuck is Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
What's the category, somebody?
Matt,
Best action game. For the best game in action genre focused primarily on combat. Armored Core 6, baby. Dead Island 2. Ghost Runner 2. Hi-Fi Rush. And Remnant 2.
it's Armored Core.
It's Armored
Core,
Armored Core.
for
I
sure.
had so much fun playing that with BJ. One of these nights, let's just keep on.
Boot it back up.
Yeah, let's.
Hell yeah.
Armored Core gets that hands
Holy
down.
shit, that was
game,
so much fun.
No, dude, I'm not gonna lie, and this is gonna sound weird, but if you know, you know. Playing Armored Core 6 got me real hyped to get the Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, if even Elden Ring was pristine, Armored Core pristine. If just a
I'm really glad
sliver-
to see this in this,
Yeah.
like, just be in the Game Awards.
I mean, I knew mostly a
This
lot
is
of
the first time we've seen it in the lineup.
a lot of their FromSoft games typically get put into the best action game or best like action.
Also,
adventure.
really good soundtrack.
Yeah. Definitely. The voice work in that game is pretty incredible too.
Super good.
I am
Also,
shocked.
What if the Elden Ring DLC comes out and it's just what he was going to put in the last two books?
It's just,
Like, you go to Westeros and you solve all the problems.
the Elden Ring DLC Shadow of the Earth Tree. It's now called Shadow of the Godwoods.
Yeah.
you step out, you turn around, there's just a tree with the red eyes and shit, and you're like, where the fuck am I?
You have to collect souls to revive Jon Snow.
Every major point in Westeros' history is you doing it, but you're behind the scenes doing
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Like that old Star Wars comic about the stormtroopers.
I want to give a big shout out to Dead Island 2. The fact that game was pretty much dead on arrival. No one expected it to be good. Came out.
No, it was dead on an island.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. The
you.
fact that most people were just assuming this game was gonna suck ass. No one had any faith in it. But we had that one trailer like 10 years ago, and then it comes out and people are like, "Shit, this ain't that bad."
Well, shit, the first game sucked ass and I still loved it.
I mean, yeah. So I still want to get to Dead Island 2 because I've heard like I said people went in and were like expecting like a 5 out of 10 game, just like it's mid or it's bad. They got like a 7.5 out of 10. It was like
It's
no.
always nice to be surprised like that.
Yeah, so I want to give it a good shot one day. But yeah, Armored Core gets that. Runner up on Hi-Fi Rush though. Just want to put that out there.
Next up, best action / adventure, which is different. Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man
Boo.
2,
Boo that too.
Resident Evil 4,
Yay.
Jedi Survivor, and Zelda.
Let's go.
It's got to be Zelda.
It has to
Zelda.
be.
It's between Star Wars or Zelda for me, but Zelda gets it.
I
also don't like-
I might have voted for Spider-Man 2 on some of these categories if they didn't give Miles that dog shit Adidas suit.
Dude, oh my fucking gosh. That is the worst thing. Because did you see that it's an actual thing you can buy? Like, it was just full
Yeah,
on,
you can
like,
just buy like this stupid fucking Under Armour bullshit online.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. All right. I'm very upset
take
about this
this
next
one.
one.
Yeah,
Fuck.
you got this, dude.
Best RPG For the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massive multiplayer online experiences. There's not an MMO on here. But we got Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and Starfield.
Starfield rolls up to this lunch table and gets laughed into oblivion and has to eat its lunch on the toilet.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate 3, man.
Yeah. I'm going Baldur's Gate.
It's insane. I'm also really happy that it's not a fucking Sony, like
pure exclusive where it's not on PC or
well,
anything.
I'm just saying like that the Game of the Year stuff or all these games is not just a wipe from a Sony game.
Yeah.
Like that's not another one of Last of Us kind of thing or God of War shit. I'm happy that it's Larian Studios. That's super dope.
And it also deserves best RPG because it broke out of the realm of RPG fans and now everybody is into it.
Yeah. I mean like half of the like TikTok live things that I see are people playing Baldur's Gate.
And that's another thing that makes me want to compare to Final Fantasy VII is because it feels like that's the last game to really break out and do that with its marketing and everything. So, yeah.
Damn,
you going Final Fantasy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I would have put Final Fantasy in action, but there's not enough RPG elements in this one for me to justify.
100%, but it's getting my vote on principle. So, Baldur's Gate 3... If Final Fantasy 16 was an action and an RPG, then action in Final Fantasy and then Baldur's Gate there. But anytime Final Fantasy 16 shows up, I have to give it to it.
I agree.
It is my personal game of the year.
Who's up?
Luke, here you go next. Luke kind of skipped out a turn.
Best fighting game. You know what that is. God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
Boo.
Why boo? Pocket Bravery and Street Fighter 6.
I'm giving it to Mortal Kombat 1 for...
I'm going Street Fighter 6.
1 for...
Johnny Cage.
2 things. No, for Omni-Man and
Jackie
Homelander. And Homelander.
Oh, I spilled my beer.
That's fair, but I'm going to give it to Street Fighter 6 just because I think as a base game...
To be fair, I think it's a breakout of its traditional... Like, I mean, even the look alone is like... I think it's a kind of a breakout from the traditional...
I'm gonna go Mortal Kombat because Omni-Man.
Fair. I was gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna go Mortal Kombat just for all the Johnny Cage memes I've seen, but I'll stick with Street Fighter 6 though.
Oh, that's a good category.
I showed because after we saw Alien, I saw the Johnny Cage meme where he goes, "Let go or get away from her, you bitch," and he goes, you know,
with the aliens
and the big robot. Come on. I get this one. Fuck. Okay, best family. For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Mario.
Insane to me that Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars are right next to each other.
I'm going Mario.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mario 2. Shout out to Disney Illusion Island, though. I've always loved when they do stuff with the Mickey Mouse IP in gaming, because it's always a really good platformer, but this one is like the Rayman game that should have ended out the Origins trilogy that we never got, but it can't beat Mario Wonder. Come on.
Best sim /
Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Matt?
I'm sorry.
I did Wonder.
Okay.
I've been swayed.
What was your original one going to be?
Nothing.
Oh, fair.
Nothing.
Skip the vote. All right. Best sim strategy. Games focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay irrespective of platform. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
I'm glad that world peace was achieved and they finally were able to release that.
City Skylines 2.
Let's go!
Company of Heroes 3. Fire Emblem Engage. And Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4. There's no better strategy than which Pikmin's gonna die here.
I've heard Advance Wars is pretty good.
I'm gonna go Fire Emblem.
I think you'd like it.
You probably would.
You play that other game that you played.
Yeah.
Oh, Into the Breach.
Into the Breach.
Into the Breach is actually... I saw Matt playing. I'm like, damn, I kind of want to play it now.
It's cheap as hell, and it's hard, but it's really satisfying when you're like, how the fuck am I gonna defeat all these enemies? And then you're like, oh shit! Like you see the play and you set it up, and then like in your turn, like no buildings get damaged. You kill like 3. Oh, It's so satisfying.
Oh, can I do this one?
Yeah.
Here, I want to, before... I'm voting Fire Emblem just because I feel like out of all of them, that's the only one I've enjoyed immensely. Pikmin 4 is fun, but I dropped it pretty fast. And then, I'm going to be honest, I think City Skylines 2 has it, though. Because I've seen a legitimate, like, people, like, loving that game. Where I'm like, where the fuck was this?
Yeah.
I'm voting Fire Emblem. Yeah.
Next up is games for people that couldn't figure out the Spider-Man lab puzzles. Best sports / racing. EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Forza, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and The Crew Motorfest.
I want to vote Hot Wheels.
That's what I was going to say. I want to, but I think
Forza.
Hot Wheels is actually really fucking fun.
That's the thing is I've actually heard it was not bad, but I think I'm going to give it to Forza Motorsport.
They're just really, really, really good at what they do.
And
I respect it.
It's unbeatable as far as
I respect it 100%. Like I really do.
I don't play racing games, but like I have booted up Forza games just to be like fuck it.
And they're really pretty on this fucking new gen hardware.
They push the technology to its
limit. It's always like if you want to see like they want to show off the hardware, they like let's just look at this car.
Look at Forza
and all the reflections.
Bro, no, I mean fuck. We've said this multiple times on this podcast. When me and BJ watched the Xbox event, and they were saying, so in Forza we went to Mexico, and we're like, oh, they took pictures.
Yeah, it's just a 5-minute long video of Mexico, and then it's like, no, this was all in game.
It was like, and BJ went, ooh, a cactus, and then it zooms out in the car speeds, and it's immediate gameplay, and he went, holy
and then I was
shit,
like, simulated cactus.
Let's go! Yeah. No, I think I'll give it to Forza because I just think they deserve it because they're good.
Yeah.
I'm out of it. The fact that Hot Wheels is on here, I just want to do that. I
just want to see Hot Wheels win to be funny.
But the reason that people wanted a Hot Wheels game was because of the Hot Wheels Forza
yeah,
crossover.
Mm-hmm. So. They also did the Lego crossover in Forza, which was dope.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I remember watching someone talk about it. I need to show you guys the videos of the Nihilist guide to E3 because they're hilarious shit. But he pretty much was like, it was the Lego crossover with Forza Horizon, and he was like, I bet you're wondering what you're seeing on this screen is, and it's because you're old enough to have kids now. And it was the Lego crossover, and I was like, damn.
Yep.
That's kind of shit. All right, who's next?
It's not me. I did the last two.
Best multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op massive multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Big shout out to Party Animals. That game just being like a new party game that like.
Well, what's the one that
I've
you're
seen
like?
So many videos.
What's the one where the
Gang Beasts?
Gang Beasts, yeah.
I think
it's very much like that.
Yeah. But I just want a big shout out because I've seen obviously YouTubers playing like the beta and the alpha, and then it came out and like it's like the go-to like let's get drunk and fuck around in this thing.
In a lot of ways it's replaced the Among Us VR bullying videos for me because a lot of it is like some kid is hanging on and this guy keeps shocking him and the kid's like, stop!
I would like to highlight this category sponsored by Discord, which I think has the ultimate tie-in to Baldur's Gate 3, where it's been insane how much, like, you know, I hop on with Rafe on Discord, and when you play Baldur's Gate 3 and just have a blast dicking around.
I'm going to say for this one, Baldur's Gate takes it.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
The fact, this is the biggest thing for Baldur's Gate 3. Playing by yourself is a traditional RPG experience. You're the main character, you have your party. Playing with a group of people turns into a Dungeons and Dragons dick around and do crazy shit because it's funny. It is actually a different game playing with friends.
100%.
And to me, that's the best thing. And the fact it's the whole game. Like, you can play the whole fucking game, decisions and all, with friends. That's insane.
For sure.
So yeah, Baldur's Gate for sure. Big shout out though to Street Fighter 6. I've liked Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
I want to do this one. Best adaptation. Recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. We've got Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, which I've heard is actually pretty good, The Last of Us, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and then Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
This one's hard, except for Gran Turismo.
I didn't see Twisted Metal, but I've heard, again, like with Gran Turismo.
I heard it was like a 6 out of 10.
It doesn't hold a candle to Last of Us, that's for sure.
This is basically between Castlevania, Last of Us, or Mario.
I can't wait for you to meet Ellie in Game of Thrones, and it's
Me
coming.
either. And I'm
And
shocked
she-
that it's so late.
Me too, because she, like, the moment she comes on screen, you fall in love with her. She's Jorah's
I'll just say
niece.
it. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna let him find out when she shows up. You're like, oh shit. But okay, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's not like a big fucking mystery. Like, oh, who is Jorah's niece?
No, but
I don't give a fuck about Jorah himself.
they literally
fair.
are like the Mormonts are here, and then it cuts to her.
Peter, the horse is here. I'm gonna give it to Mario. You know what? Fuck it. I love the Mario movie, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And I can't wait for the next one.
I'm gonna give it out to The Last of Us just because it's really good to see a healthy video game adaptation that's not.
That breaks out of the fan base of the game.
Yes.
Castlevania for me. Nocturne is fucking great. Richter Belmont. Like, have y'all finished it yet?
No.
Nope.
Dude, when he, like, again, slight spoilers. When he gets his magic back,
We're not watching Silo. We're not watching Nocturne. We're watching Game of Thrones.
nah,
This is a Game of Thrones house.
no, I'm voting Castlevania. That shit's fire.
All right, is it my turn?
Yep.
Cool. Most anticipated game. Recognizing an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward.
Oh,
The
this is
top
tough.
3 on this list.
Final Fantasy VII, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
So for me, take Star Wars Outlaws out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those 4 are games that I'm going to get next year.
But even then, Tekken 8, I'm not nearly as cool with that as the other 3.
100%. To me, Tekken is the only fighting game that I like remotely enjoy playing.
I love
in
watching
long
Tekken
terms.
tournaments.
Yeah, dude, Tekken's fun to see. But
I'm going to give it to Hades 2, man. Hades broke... it popped my flower. And
Hades is one of the best games ever made.
Is in the dungeon crawler experience. I had never liked any of them. I couldn't do it. And Hades just drew me in, and I was addicted to it.
I think Hades is because like the gameplay is still really good, but I think Hades is the perfect analogy. Same with Persona 5, that an art style and like not even just like graphics, but specifically an art style.
And I
can
would
really make you fall in love.
I
with the
would
game.
vote Like a Dragon to support my boys, but we've had a little bit of a run-in with with one of the
Yeah, you know what? Fuck voting for Like a Dragon. Fuck you, Danny Trejo. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is my most anticipated game, and you can kill yourself.
If you don't know, watch our Halloween episode.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7. I think me and BJ have too much like. I mean, that's the reason this podcast is here, is because of Remake.
Also, I'm playing the new Like a Dragon right now, so I'm not anticipating the next one. I'm just anticipating what I'm about to do right now.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, Rebirth, because I need the answers, bro.
Yeah.
I need to know what the fuck's
I
happening.
I
need to
hate
see-
this next
I
category.
need to see the Sephiroth combo attacks.
All right, you go, Luke. It's your
Content
turn.
creator of the year for streamer, content creator who's made an impact and positive. You know, it's YouTubers and shit.
I hate that.
Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, and Cypher. I'm voting Iron Mouse because I've seen her on TikTok.
You know
Done.
what's fucking stupid about this category every year? It's always like some dickhead Twitch streamers, and it's never the people on YouTube that are actually like breaking stories about games.
Where's
delving
Donkey?
into- Exactly.
Where the fuck
I've
is
never
Donkey?
seen Donkey on this
Hey,
fucking list.
let's bring it back a bit. That Boogie 2988 won this award once, so this isn't that good of a prestigious award that we think it is. Boogie got it.
I don't
And-
like this category at all.
I'm voting Iron Mouse just because I watch Trash Taste and
I can skip.
she's whatever. Yeah, skip it.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip.
I'm voting Iron Mouse.
If the best choice is a fucking VTuber,
Yeah.
Cut to. Did you guys see that one where it's like the VTuber singing concert? Where
yeah,
they're like losing.
and
And then his band. I love the memes that came of that where it's like the guy behind the screen is just like this, just running
with
a
his
mouse.
fucking mouse,
And he's just on his phone, just like
and then he goes click.
panties drop.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
Parasocial relationships and the internet have ruined us as a generation.
BJ?
Best esports: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile for some reason, and Valorant.
I want to skip this one too.
I'm gonna say Valorant.
I'll give it to either Valorant or Counter-Strike 2.
Yeah, the guys on Discord really have been enjoying Counter-Strike 2.
I'll go Valorant just because I like it better, but Counter-Strike 2, yeah, did kind of blow up and become like a big...
I mean, for some people, that would have been like the most anticipated game.
That's true.
Like, I mean, the fact that they were like, we're going to actually fully revamp Counter-Strike completely, dude, like, yeah, I if it wins, cool. All right, these next three, we're probably going to all skip. Let's be real here.
Best esports athlete. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I really don't care.
Best esports team.
I do like Matthew Zawu because he looks...
Because his name is Matthew.
No, because look at his picture. He just kind of looks derpy.
Yeah.
Well, and I like that.
Best esports
I'm
team.
going to vote him, so I hope he goes on stage.
Thank you.
Best esports team, Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, Gaming
Fnatic.
Gladiators, JD Gaming, and
Vitality.
Vitality. I don't fucking know.
Skip.
I have a really important thing to say,
Yeah?
and that is skip this category every time.
Yep.
I'm going to do Fnatic because that's the only one who doesn't have a picture with a trophy.
That's a good idea. Oh, best esports coach.
What? That's really... I hate this.
I'm going with the fat guy.
Yes!
Danny Zonic Sorensen.
So he can go on stage.
Yep.
Let's get this guy on stage, people. Vote him.
Get Zonic on stage right now.
Best esport event.
Evo.
League of Legends World Championship, Paris Major Blast TV, Evo, the Dota Championships, and Valorant Championships.
It's always Evo, brother.
Yep.
Really, the League ones go crazy.
I don't like League,
Yeah, but
so.
there's not a more
I agree,
wretched
I don't
hive
like-
of scum and villainy in the galaxy than a fucking event for that shitty game.
I agree about my vitriol to the game, but
if you
the
can
championships go hard.
if you can give CD Projekt Red, even though you didn't play Phantom Liberty, the award, I can give it to Evo just because it's the only one that I give a shit about.
What is Evo?
Fighting
It's
game
the
tournaments.
fighting game
Oh,
tournament.
then hell yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just for one game.
It's literally like every fighting game that you can put in there. Like the main stage gets like 7 or 10 of them.
yeah.
Like it's usually all the most recent fighting games, and then they're now adding a legacy one. Do you see fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
That's going to be insane, I think.
I hope to God they bring Marvel 3. 'Cause
Well-
3 Ultimate is fucking amazing.
That concludes.
So we voted.
Our votes.
How do y'all feel about this year's awards? Because
I'm really excited to
I
just
feel
see
like
all these Larian people come up.
Yeah, there's a good variety of games this year. It's not just like one game came out and it was amazing. There's a bunch of good stuff in every category that I feel like.
I'd like to-
the only thing I'm pissed at is what's with this Alan Wake shit. I haven't seen anything on TikTok, which is like, for me, the biggest.
That is true. If there's a game that's really popping, Baldur's Gate 3, without having played it, touched it, talked about it at all, started creeping into my For You page.
I mean, it's that thing where it's like you saw Elden Ring when it was like, this. Check out this build. Go here if you
Elden
want
Ring
this.
was everywhere.
But it was like that. Same with Baldur's Gate. They're like,
to be fair,
here's
though,
tips and tricks, something you didn't know.
That was those specific. Like if I go to my friends who've never played video games, they saw Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring. I feel like there's always gonna be that one game that does that. For me, like I've seen like a couple Alan Wake TikToks, and it's been people saying, "Yo, go fucking play this game. It's great." I didn't see any TikToks on Mario Wonder though. So
I
like,
saw plenty.
I saw none. So like it's definitely a
The
curated
dancing
thing for
piranha
me.
plants have been all over my For You
That's
page.
true. The singing segment. Yeah, I've seen that. shit.
All I've seen from Mario Wonder has been people going like my favorite one was someone was like playing as Daisy and she got the elephant one and he just immediately grabbed a button and just went smash. And that's been most of my TikTok for that. But I don't know. I feel like it's Alan Wake 2 just got hit with recency bias, I think, for most. But it has been reviewing really well, so I'm not saying the game doesn't deserve it, but like I definitely think.
Also, isn't this weird? We didn't see a single Hogwarts Legacy.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's
that
that.
is
I don't think it's
kinda
that
weird.
weird.
I mean, I mean,
well, for one,
it's weird that it wasn't on like Score or anything though.
well, I mean, it got nominated for a fucking Grammy, so
Well, hey,
There's something, I
That's
guess.
good enough. They don't need
Did
to
they
be
win?
here.
Well, I don't know what the Grammys aren't happened yet. I don't think. I will give him this. I think Hogwarts Legacy. I wouldn't be shocked. Like if that game had just come out, it probably would have gotten some nominations. But I definitely think it has a bit of a stigma behind it.
It's also hard to find anybody that finished that game.
and then take it that it came out at the beginning of the year. It was like
And
the
then
first
Tears
one.
came after. No, Jedi, then Tears.
Well, it was
Right?
Resident Evil.
Jedi and Tears were the same week, weren't
Yeah,
they?
they were like 2 weeks
Oh,
apart.
that's why Jedi got fucked. Because I was like, okay, I'll play
Because
it.
it got Horizoned.
Yeah.
It went.
I do
Hogwarts
remember because
Legacy
I
was
bought
like
it, and then I was like, well,
Yeah,
I only got this far.
We were
and-
both playing it, and then it was like, all right, Zelda's out. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Hogwarts Legacy came out first, then it was Resident
I don't
Evil
wanna
4,
play with
and
you
then it was Jedi
anymore.
Survivor, then it was Zelda.
Cal Kestis, but I was the Jedi Survivor.
I honestly, this year for games has been great. That I when I looked at the game of the year awards, like yeah, with the exception of being like, oh, only 2 just came out, really. Other than that, I was like, I don't hate this list. I don't hate like any of these lists.
Well, I
really.
just don't know of any other games that had come out. I mean, this would have been, what, like, end of October? Alan Wake came out? Like
mid October, like right before the cutoff. I feel like
if they
that, like, I don't remember that many games in previous years that had come out and was in.
God of War literally
Really?
came out a week before.
that doesn't bode well.
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok came out a week before the cutoff. So did Spider-Man the first time run around.
Okay.
So
then
it's happened
I just
before.
Don't know. Well, because I don't have a PlayStation, so that's why.
I think for Alan Wake, like I said before, I think it's just because it's recency in a lot of people's minds. Because yeah, they probably like beat the game for their review, and then it was like, all right, we got to bring in the Game of the Year list, and that's the freshest game on their mind. So they're probably like, shit. I mean, and again, like it's been getting good reviews. The podcasts I've listened to from, and I'm not even talking like IGN or any of that shit. Like just the people that I trust with game reviews are like, this game's great, go play it. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I can just see it just that, where it's like, oh, we just finished playing it. We're putting in our Game of the Year like nominations.
Here's something I would also like to see. I'd like to see less of this esports stuff. Like, I understand the impact.
It needs
on the
to be
community.
more general. Like,
I wish it was
YouTube
like
content.
That's what I'm saying.
creation
I was
stuff.
like, if they were like podcasts, like best gaming podcasts. Like, I'm not trying to get
like
us in
gaming
there,
news
but like
stuff, not just
yeah,
esports. People.
that's what I'm saying. Like, put Dunky in there. He has revolutionized like YouTube and gaming and all that kind of stuff.
And now he's a dev himself.
yeah.
I think the problem
Big
is
Mode.
that-
Shout out to Big Mode.
They probably can't do a best gaming podcast, considering most of them are on the committee to nominate shit. Like Easy Allies, Kind of Funny, IGN's podcast.
We're not on there.
That's right.
That's
We
what I'm saying. Like, yeah, we could be nominated.
Vote for the side quest for
yeah.
the Game Awards. next year.
Did you see the fan vote game? Did they put that one on there yet?
Right in us as the game of the year.
The Side Quest podcast wins Game of the Year for outstanding podcast and not a game. Speaking of achievements in gaming, we need to talk about Matt for a second because I'm very proud of him and he deserves a gold medal.
Thanks, babe.
Okay. Is this the thing that happened last night?
Let me
Yeah,
take
set the
this.
stage.
Well, 2 nights ago. It wasn't last night, but the night before. We were all sitting around. I didn't know BJ was off. Oh no, it was after you got home from having dinner with your family. And so this was Sunday, and we were just kind of like, oh, like you got home early. I'd taken a nap, and BJ came in. We kind of like debriefed on the party and how, you know, asked him how he felt and how everything went, and then we were like, well, what should we do? And I was like, I was on the computer and BJ was playing Gaiden, and Carmen was just, you know, hanging around, and I was like, what if I just finished Yakuza 0? And he was like, BJ was like, I'd be so down for that. And I was like, fuck it, I have nothing going on right now. We're at like chapter 14. Let's just do it. So we sat down and started playing it, and then last night I beat the game.
Hell fucking yeah. I knew y'all were playing it because I had Snapchatted BJ that like, hey, I'm starting Gaiden. And because I finished Origins, I was like, cool, I'm good. I'll play the DLC later. I want to play Gaiden. And so I started, and he sent back like a picture, and he's like, "All right, bro, get ready for a ride." And I saw the screen, and at first I thought you sent me a screenshot of Gaiden, but it was because
That's what I was trying to do, but it was a picture of Kuze.
yeah, it was Kuze, and in my head I went, "He's in Gaiden," and I went, "Wait, no, that's Zero. What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And I didn't put it together that like, oh, Matt's playing until Matt was like, "BJ, you killed Makoto. What the fuck?" Or you sold Makoto.
I did send it. I was like, dude, BJ sold
Makoto into slavery, and Luke was like, "What?"
and that's another thing where I went, is she back in Gaiden? Like, the whole time when y'all were bringing up Yakuza shit, I'm like, are they like low-key spoiling Gaiden for me? What's going on?
What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm kind of pissed.
This game's gonna be insane.
Yeah, and
that would be wild if Kuze Makoto came back in this game in Gaiden.
I was like, what the fuck? And then yeah, I just put two and two together, like, oh, they're either BJ's playing again, which I doubt it, or Matt's actually said, fuck it, I'll play Zero. So, but you beat it.
I beat it, and it was awesome,
bro. That final fight.
I have a lot of gripes, not with Zero. Well,
my biggest gripe is with the fucking achievements we were getting and how pissed off that made me.
Starting chapter 15, the last 3 chapters, I had gotten Diamond Chiefs for completing the chapter, which means that
less than
10 or less percent of people have gotten that achievement. And
less than 10% of people on Xbox have finished Yakuza 0.
I will say that probably is a problem with Game Pass. Like, I'm sure...
I'm fine, because I always get a little tickled when I hear the ding swing. Yeah, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm amazing.
I think that's less of it's on Xbox and more of it's on Game Pass, because if you look at any Game Pass game, the completion rates for games on Game Pass are very fucking low. Because you can just download them and play them whenever you want, and then it's you don't feel that compelling need of I need to finish this.
It is kind of cool though, because it gives you information that's like, hey, this is something that not everyone.
I do really like that. Steam does the same thing; it just doesn't notify you while you're playing, or maybe that's something I just have in my.
You like turned off notifications in game, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I really like that.
But I need to talk about my gripes,
okay?
Because I have a lot, and it has to do with the fact that this is a prequel. There's so much shit to me that doesn't make sense.
The end credits, Matt was like, "What the fuck happens in 2005?" Which is the same reaction that I had.
Because did you play?
I played 0 first.
Hell yeah, yeah. What the fuck happens in 1995 and 2005, and then there's so much stuff that doesn't make sense in the story, like why Majima would go back to the guy who fucking tortured him and not just work for Sarah. Like, makes no sense. He would have been Sarah's top dog, and Sarah being in charge.
If Sarah had taken Nishiki, Majima, and Kiryu as the captains, the Tojo clan would still be alive today.
See, and this is the
there wouldn't have been other games, because it would have just been, and everybody lived happily ever after, and it was badass. Like, that's how it would have gone.
Also, it was badass.
It's one of those problems that, yeah, like you said, is a prequel that we're like, okay, well, Majima has to be here so he can have his own family, so he can be in this position so Kiryu comes back and he's doing his thing, and they have to set up for the next game and the subsequent games because it has to fall in line.
Yeah, I hate that they just go back into their family. Like,
but after playing everything, looking back at 0 makes me sad, and that adds to it.
Like, that they go back to these, like, the places that they, like, go to.
Yeah, like, you go... Because, like, the 80s in Japan, the bubble era, was the biggest economic boom that Japan had ever had. And every game since then has been in a recession. And every game, it like, seemingly gets worse. So it really adds to where I'm at in Gaiden now. Where it's like, Kiryu's life is in fucking shambles. And he's constantly looking back at 0 and Kiwami and all this shit, and 2. Those are the 3 games that Gaiden is really a sequel to. And it's just...
And 6 directly.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But, like, with all the things happening, it's
also,
like...
Also, Kazama looks like Burt Reynolds. 100%. Like, just... Yeah, just a Japanese Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds needs to play Kazuma, and...
Isn't he dead?
Probably.
Pedro Pascal needs to play Kazuma.
And then, I mean, obviously the shit with, like, Makoto not recognizing Majima, like, because then to see him go into, like, being the mad dog Shimano is just so sad when like all it would have taken is them being together to like it would have just.
I've thought about
the fucked up thing is,
especially because think about how good it would have been written if like he was like like fuck the Yakuza, I'm gonna just like live a life, and then you could write in like something bad. It could be the Kiryu story with Majima where they like write in like something bad happens to
he keeps getting
Makoto.
pulled back in.
Yeah,
kinda
like
shit.
that would be so good.
Well,
I love.
They do kind of do that with Majima anyway. It's like every game shit gets worse for Majima, and you can see.
And I like.
What do you say with the lowest point would have been 5 or 3?
Well, he doesn't deserve that shit. He's been like.
I'd say like 4.
Like not to piss.
Because Kiryu's gone in 4, and all the shit with Sajima's going down.
Not to piss on like Kiryu's story, but like let's be honest, like at least in 0, Kiryu like just glides through life. Like even when shit's going down, he still's like gliding through it. Like
0's the reason there are so many Majima fans.
Absolutely.
But Majima like from the beginning is like okay, like Kiryu was over, that sucks. But like Majima fucking was tortured for a year, like all this shit. He was like used, and pretty much like even when he was at the Grand, it was like being abused by Sagawa.
Yep.
And like all this shit. Then he finds this girl that he like saves and falls in love with, and then she just doesn't remember it.
But then he also finds out that him falling in love with her was all manufactured by the guy that tortured him for a year, which is so fucked up.
So I have so much gripe with just all these little details because it could have been like, I feel like it could have set this shit up to be the Game of Thrones where like people like really good writing where people like die and things.
Well, now you kind of understand how the Infinite Wealth trailer hurts me, and I'm sure it hurts you too. Seeing that scene where Kiryu and Majima look at each other
And they're old as shit.
That shit hurts my heart.
Like, well, and to say what you say, like you're like, oh, the Game of Thrones thing, that's honestly is a very apt description. But like, instead of Game of Thrones having a lot of different main characters, Yakuza is Kiryu. This is his story for the longest time.
That's what I was telling BJ. It's like I wish that they do like a Majima is the only protagonist of the game.
Yeah,
and where he's not crazy.
Majima Gaiden.
Make him not crazy. Like I love Grand.
Well,
like,
that's the best thing about the Majima campaign in Yakuza 2 is you can see him put on the face in front of other people, but there's a lot of internal dialogue.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I just want to see Zero Majima. The like
well, that's the
thing.
Grand,
like him being like the charismatic.
The Zero look for Majima is fucking unrivaled.
Oh,
I'll give you that.
The second that he changes into Mad Dog, I was like, I'm so sad.
Well, it's also because like
he is like such a handsome. Like I know Kiryu's like the protagonist and he's the guy and he's handsome, but Majima is so handsome and he's got that long hair and straightened with the ponytail. Ugh.
He looks a lot better in the snakeskin later on because he's older and he's more jacked and his face fills out more. But seeing him change in Zero, it feels like a reduction, which I feel like is kind of intentional.
I will say this though, and the thing that I like about Majima's character, because the whole point, it's a very different thing with Majima, is that like Kiryu's whole thing is that his whole thing is he views the Yakuza as honorable in Zero still. Like to him they are like modern day samurai. It's the idea of like this, you know, he looks up to his dad, who he views as an honorable guy, because again he's an orphan. He's had nothing before the Yakuza. The Yakuza is all he knows. Same with Majima. The Yakuza is all he knows. So like that's why they both keep coming back to it, because it's like this is our life. Especially
I was saying like why don't they just go to fucking
4.
America and have the best life?
But if they go to America, then they're essentially dead. That's the whole point of the Yakuza series. Every time somebody goes to America,
they're dead.
They're dead.
Right, like a multiverse thing where they go to America and they like run like a gang there.
I'd rather see the multiverse where they join Sarah's Nikio.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest thing that doesn't make any fucking sense. If I was Sarah, I'd be like, I want you, because I'm like, why the fuck are they going back to these awful families? Like, no, Sarah, you're like in charge. Pull some strings, get your boys up in there and rule forever.
Well, that's the thing.
Until 2005.
Well, I was gonna say no. You're talking
When something
about.
goes down.
You're talking
So
about
many people die in 2005,
Jesus
dude.
Christ. You're talking about like, oh, having their families. Majima has a family, and throughout most of Yakuza, his family is the reason the Tojo clan.
Backbone of the Tojo.
Yeah, like if Majima legitimately said fuck the Tojo,
Yeah,
and
but
left,
he goes back to the asshole
no,
who tortures him.
no,
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm saying.
no,
But
Like that family.
But it's kind of in Yakuza 1, Shimano dies, and Majima isn't there to help him out. So it's kind of implied that like Majima knew he was gonna go out there and die, and then he was gonna take his power over.
Majima, he's like, yeah, his crew is like the strongest Tojo clan family throughout
Do the
all of
Omi
Yakuza.
Alliance come up in other games?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ryuji Goda is a big Omi Alliance member.
Yakuza 2.
Oh, okay.
Yep, 4. No, they're on 4. Yeah, they are.
They're hella in 5.
Yeah, 5 specifically. Because the final boss is like, why the fuck are you here?
7.
7. Well, 7 especially. How's Gaiden been on that? Because I know they're all technically disbanded, but like,
They're not.
oh well, yeah.
Everything that I've
Oh wait,
played.
wait, fuck! Right, it's before 7. Never mind.
Everything that I've played is setting up that one scene in 7.
So that's one of the things that I now that you're saying that seems to be where it goes, because like there was one shot in the trailer I saw that was like, that's from 7.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool.
And I think you actually might get to play that scene.
If that's the case, it's gonna be fucking hype as shit.
Speaking of which, I need to shout out the Coliseum and Gaiden.
Can't you play as multiple
You
characters?
can play as every character that you can recruit, including Akamoto-kun, the guy that keeps getting like financially domed by that one girl in the first 3 games.
How is because apparently, can you play as Kaito?
You can.
Can
you
you
can play as him and Higashi.
Okay, because I don't know if you've unlocked him yet, but I'm pretty sure I saw.
Oh, I have. That was the first side quest I did.
I apparently what's the guy with the K-pop looking motherfucker in Judgment Scene?
Oh,
Sugiura. Apparently he's in there.
Damn.
And because I saw a screenshot, I'm like, is that Sugiura? If Sugiura, I need to know how he plays.
Yeah, I mean, so far everyone plays like they know the moveset for everybody that they put in.
Oh, like they change the moveset per character?
Well,
For-
yeah,
for
because
some are similar, because like Kaito's moves are basically just brawler and beast style from 0, but like updated.
But a lot of these characters that you can play as have only been like partner characters in previous games, and they've made all those moves inputs. So it feels like you're actually, like when you're playing as Daigo, it feels like his boss fights in 4 and 5 because they just upped his moveset and put it in a controllable style.
That's. Did you buy the deluxe edition to get the 3?
I just pre-ordered it and it came with it.
Because it's like super cheap because it's on Game Pass, so I'm probably gonna buy it. But
It also unlocks tournament battles, tournament boss fights with the 3, which is really cool.
yeah,
There's also like Mecha Nishiki.
sure.
Also, though, I was killing it through the last, like, all the boss fights. The only time I died was on the boat.
The boat
With all the fucking
getting
guns.
Yes,
getting
with
to
all the
yeah.
guns. That was the only time I died.
That's the most infuriating level in 0.
But I was killing it. I was getting some sweet heat actions.
What was your the final boss with Shibusawa, dude?
Dude, when they got to that scene, I was like, oh it's happening.
Yeah, he set his phone down. He set everything down. He was
Bro,
like,
the
"Yes."
Shibusawa fight is some peak shit, especially
The two
because
dragons.
The dragons looking at each other.
Bro,
Oh,
the soundtrack to that, I've played in the car. We've been driving to like Dollar General or whatever, and it's like that I fucking love that.
that's a
boss
guaranteed add 10 miles an hour.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
That song is so good.
It was a really good boss fight.
The fact that Shibusawa
Also, the
out of-
Majima versus the Li Chu or whatever his name,
Lao Guai.
Lao
Guai.
Guai. That one was a lot of fun.
I like that you're now also really seeing the dynamic intros, because 0 has some bangers where it's like, here's this cutscene before the fight.
I
like
still
with
think-
Yao Guai, where Majima goes to punch and he just flips over him holding on
Yeah.
his arm. Fucking so cool.
And he has the two, and he shoots the hell out of Kuze. Did
Yeah.
not see that coming.
No, it was
the other guy.
Kuze.
Awano.
Awano.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoots the fuck out of Awano, which I was
Can we talk about that one
What?
scene where Awano punches the granite wall by Majima's
Yes.
head and it cracks.
That
And
was
he
so
like looks
fire.
over, he's like, "What the
Yeah,
fuck,
bro? Yakuza will go. All right, we're in cutscene. We're in fight territory. Anything goes.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. Make it look cool. And I'm like, that motherfucker can punch through granite.
dude?" I did not level up Slugger like, or not. I didn't unlock like all the tiers of Slugger.
He didn't have the legend styles either.
Well, to be fair, he had to beat the fucking mini games to get.
And
those.
I was like, if we're gonna beat it in the next couple days, I can't go do this. I need to like.
We'll say legend style is insane for Majima. 'Cause
Well,
he gets the-
Slugger is insane.
It's like I told him, you can beat Mr. Shakedown consistently with Mad Dog.
yeah,
Well,
'cause
Slugger
it's-
though is insane. So is the Breaker style. When you have like more than 5 people,
That's so satisfying doing like some
the fucking
breakdancing
just
moves.
breakdancing.
yeah, it's so good.
No,
But-
Mad Dog is insane because he will always have the knife. So that's his main.
But I also
weapon.
loved in the Shibusawa fight that he changes doing pretty much
Yeah, he does all the styles.
all the 3 styles that you do. And I was like, fuck it, I'll match you, motherfucker. I was like, we're going beast style. Same here.
That's such
I had
a good.
I think it was the best heat action I've ever seen.
Oh, the Beast one.
Was with the chair. We're like fighting and he's grabbing all the chairs and then I do it and you do the thing where you throw the chair up. Oh, bro, it was so.
I would love to get Matt's reaction to like a heat action compilation because some of them are fucking
Dude, that
Wild.
one from Yakuza 5 still
I hate it.
gets me.
Dude, there's one that we got last night with Majima.
The box of nails.
No, it was the bat in the mouth.
Oh yeah, he puts the bat in his. I'd never even seen this one.
He puts the bat in his mouth. He like hits him, puts the bat in his mouth, and then kicks the bat up while it's in his mouth. That was brutal as
The
fuck.
one in 5 that gets me it's the one where he like basically
The ashtray one's
scrapes
pretty
him.
good too.
Kiryu will basically knock a dude down and just scrape
They
him
have to
across
be
the
on their
pavement.
stomach, and Kiryu grabs the back of their head and scrapes it across the concrete 3 times, and then just like skids him away.
And
Which
every
one is this,
every
5 you
time,
said?
Yeah, and
every time you
Luke
see
was
it,
watching me play it one day, and we were both like, "Oh, oh."
no, it's funny because you look at that and you're like, Kiryu never killed anybody.
He definitely dismembered some motherfuckers.
Now Ryota Sakamoto though, that motherfucker's killing everybody.
Yeah, gun and pistol style.
Ryota didn't give a fuck. Nah, dude, I'm so glad you finished 0. Are you gonna go to Kiwami 1?
Is it worth it?
I mean, you saw the movie.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. That's not. That is like the barest bones plot points of the movie. Maybe.
This might be unpopular. Since you have seen the movie, and the movie does a surprisingly good job of filling in the basic plot of 1, I'd say go to 2.
I mean,
2
1
is one of the most fun to play.
2 is definitely the most fun to play. I will say Kiwami 1 is basically a sequel to 0 in terms of its gameplay, its content. Like it is.
But the leveling up,
Which one
Level
has
up
just
sucks.
the best gameplay?
2.
I still
I
think.
mean, in the series.
Well, Judgments actually. I would give it to Judgment.
I'd
But
say
Judgment
Gaiden.
is turn-based.
Well, no. Judgment is the detective ones.
Oh.
Like a Dragon is turn-based. Gaiden, I would
main
say,
series is turn based now.
yeah, main series will be turn-based from this point forward. So Like a Dragon with Ichiban is.
But
all
there are
turn-based.
mods.
Okay, that barely work. But yeah, the main series is turn-based now. So any game with Ichiban
What?
as the protagonist will be turn-based. Well,
Why?
because Like a
But if
Dragon,
you have Kiryu in your party in the new one, Kiryu says fuck turn based and just beats the shit out of everybody.
that's apparently his limit break. Is he'll just say fuck it and just fuck the
Yeah, but
turn-based. Again, it's
that's like the biggest turn away from the series is having to do the turn pace.
But realistically, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
0 and Gaiden.
0, Gaiden.
Judgment and Lost Judgment, and those are all the games that are action oriented. And Ishin.
So just going forward,
And
they're
the
not
other
going to be
ones-
action oriented.
they're gonna have action games, but the main franchise of
Any game where
Ichiban,
Ichiban is the protagonist is going to be turn based.
Forever.
as long as they keep
As far as we
selling.
know.
Damn.
Well, that's the problem. Is Like a Dragon, the turn-based one, outsold all of the ones before it.
Oh, so they're like, we're sticking to this.
Well, originally it was supposed to be a one-game thing, and then it got such a positive reception of like, yo, this is actually really cool. They're like, fuck it, we're gonna make 8 turn-based as well. That's why they made Gaiden. Gaiden was an action game with Kiryu, Granted, shorter, but they were like, no, we're gonna make an action game. Because yeah, I agree with him. I think so far what I've played of Gaiden, because already getting the fucking like,
I've gotten all the upgrades, dude.
I have yet to do like much upgrading, but like I've just fucking ran around, just like I just want to play, I just want to fucking fight. I would say this: if you really want to just say fuck it and play one that's different, just do the Judgment games, because I don't know if you're gonna go through and play Yakuza.
Those don't really play into the main.
No, they are their own
So
stuff.
I could just start Judgment.
You could do Judgment and then do Lost Judgment, yeah.
I'm still saying go Kiwami 2.
And that's on that newer engine, right?
Yeah, Dragon
Yeah.
Engine.
And it plays well.
It looks incredible.
It is probably the best of, like, because they went 6, which you can please skip that one. And then
watch
Kiwami
the
2.
cutscenes.
Honestly, just like if you get a chance, just watch the cutscenes of 1 and then play 2.
I mean, shit, we could start 2 and I'll fill you in. You know the bare bones from the movie.
Basically, most of the people you saw in the first game die. Or in 0, die. There you go.
I know about Nishiki, and then
Yeah, Nishiki, he sacrifices himself for Kiryu. Yumi dies. She was in the orphanage with them. Kiryu was in love with her, and she's Haruka's mom.
yeah,
Shimano and Kazuma die together. And as Kazuma's dying, he tells Kiryu, I started the orphanage for all the kids of the parents that I killed. So he knows that Kazuma killed his family, and he's like, I don't care. You were the only father I ever had. And then
It sets up. Sarah dies.
Sarah dies.
damn, how does he die?
Off
Just
screen.
like assassinated off screen.
That's awful. Sarah was a badass.
Nishiki shoots Dojima in the face because he's gonna try to rape Kiryu's girl.
Yeah, Dojima, the fucker with the glasses and the
Yeah,
shitty mustache,
yeah.
dies.
That's what
Nishiki.
happens in 1995.
Yeah, that's
and then
the- that's-
Kiryu takes the fall for that, and that's why he goes to prison until 2005, and then he gets out, and Nishiki's being a bitch.
I
so-
also don't understand. It's like if only only if someone dies by shooting is the police involved. If somebody gets stabbed, beat the fuck up, or anything else, the cops do not get involved and no one gets arrested.
Well,
The
a lot of that is
second
because-
someone dies from a gunshot, the cops are like swarm in.
I mean, to
and
be
you
fair-
get
a lot of that
arrested.
is cops being in the Yakuza's pocket. That's the plot of like 3 out of the 4 games after this.
I honestly I think you'd enjoy the Judgment games because they're action oriented. They're really good action games too.
That's Ichiban, no.
No, that's the
Yagami.
detective one.
Yagami.
And they're not related to, like, they're related to the games because it's still dealing with the Tojo clan and some other stuff, but you never see Kiryu, you never hear about him, none of that. And so you just play them as standalone games. And
No, I just want like a Majima Gaiden. That's all I want.
That's what I want.
I don't know if we're gonna get one because I think now that they've fixed the thing with Yagami's actor, they're probably getting a Judgment 3. And they'll probably do side
I'll
games.
go on record and say fuck Judgment 3. If I could get a Majima Core game, Yagami can stay out forever.
I'll be the odd man out. I'll happily never see a Majima solo
What?
game if it means I get more Judgment.
Crazy.
If we're tier listing all the Yakuza games, Lost Judgment is number 1 for me.
But that's not because of Yagami as a character.
No, but it's because of that game and its story and its characters. Because the whole crew, the boys. Because that's the thing, Judgment isn't just like Kiryu.
Well, then you just make the Majima Detective Agency and get that shit over with.
No, see the thing is, Kiryu is the guy. Like, yes, in 4 and 5 you have other characters, but let's be real. It's the Kiryu saga. You go to Judgment, and yeah, Yagami,
I don't want it to be. I wanted it to be the Majima.
Like, Yagami
That's
is the
who I
main
really
character,
want.
but everybody around Yagami is also one of the best characters.
In my opinion, 0, 1, and 2.
I think Kiryu's autistic,
he's 100% autistic.
and I just want.
So is Majima.
No,
Guaranteed.
No,
he's
Majima's
somewhere on
not
the spectrum.
no, he's not.
He's somewhere
He's
on
just
that spectrum.
troubled.
Hell nah. He pretends to be.
That's what I like
0,
about
1, and 2 to me is the Majima saga. And that's why I think 2 is the next best bet for you.
Okay, is that on Game Pass?
They're all on Game Pass,
Ooh.
with the exception of Infinite Wealth when it drops.
Well, maybe I can play that on my
Razor Kishi.
Razer Kishi, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, with your sick ass internet that is really good here.
The fact that I have Steam Link changed everything because I was like, I know I'm gonna get a sweet Christmas bonus. Do I get a Steam Deck? And then I was
You
like,
should have.
should have known. Now's the best time with the OLED prices drop. They're like now with the OLED they've dropped prices.
The OG models are down now.
And technically, I could get the base one, open it up, and put in a better internal hard drive. Even have it be more than what's offered, because I think the highest one is 512. I can put in a 1 terabyte.
I wouldn't recommend it just because of it does some things to the performance.
Really?
Yeah,
honestly,
just because of the way Proton is built and how it runs games. But like,
what if I just looked on eBay for a 512 gigabyte Steam Deck hard drive? I bet I could plug that thing in and it would act like a 512.
I mean, they sell all the parts.
That's what I'm saying. I bet I could just get the 64 and then put in a 512.
I do like the screen on the big model just because it has the anti-etch.
Wait, they're different size screens?
They're not different sizes, but they're different like quality of glass. But that, again, you can just buy the screen.
Or I could just get the OLED, so. But, anyways, the Razer Kishi is my, like...
Your Steam Deck testing the water.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So, we'll see.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm making pork, rice, and steamed broccoli.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. So.
More like Steam Deck broccoli.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
Shout out to our sponsor, Dubby. We love Dubby. Was drinking it this morning. Helped me get to work without falling asleep. They got new shakers, which are really nice. They're made in the USA. Coming out with new flavors soon. They're also coming out with new non-caffeinated flavors.
Hell yeah.
And use code TakeItSleazy, one word, for 10% off your coupon. It helps us out. Check us out. We're on YouTube and Spotify. Give us a like. Give us a subscription. Follow us on stuff. Just help us out.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, come on. And as always,
take it sleazy.